You have a new girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Has she seen your old set where you talk about your old girlfriend?
Well, I can't wait for this.
My cards are waiting.
I'm thinking of understanding comedy.
It's just on my phone.
I wonder if she's seen the old set and is like, oh, I better act right, bro. Like, she's that a lot. She wants to be famous. Act very wrong. Yeah, you gotta be careful for the toxic.
The girl I'm with now is we've been friends for a few years. So we were friends actually when I was working that stuff out. So she's seen like an early warm up for that show. We've been together since July, and yeah, she's great.
Asian?
Yeah. No. Andrew. Go back to your roots.
Girls love me. Just like, how did they open it so?
They just have to sleep on this side of the bed.
Nah, you're like the Taylor Swift of comics, man. Hey, thinking a relationship breakup? Oh, I got a special.
You do 1 hour. I'm not 6 forever.
So that's funny, though. I mean, talk about your shit. It was a crazy story, though.
I'd like, yeah, and genuinely, like, for legal reasons, I have to stress it was fictional.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Like, it's totally fictional.
Completely fictional.
Yeah.
There's no truth in it at all. Yeah, and that's what I like about
The
it.
resemblance to real life is purely coincidental.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He does coincidences.
Yeah.
Even an hour of coincidences. You're like, oh.
Wild. Like my mum's an alcoholic in real life and in the show. Like,
What is it? Yeah.
I could have written in.
But if you show that's a funny thing for getting special. Yeah. For legal reasons, all of this is fiction. That's even more enticing. Yeah, right?
It's yeah. It was interesting putting a special like that out because, you know, that for me, that hour, so the hour you're talking about there is called Juicy. And that is more of like an Edinburgh Festival type hour of stand-up where it's, you know, it's one long story. We sat down for a lot of it. Like, we shot it in a small room very deliberately. And that is not the way I've came up. And although I've gone to the Edinburgh Festival and done hours and stuff, I've never really, for that show, done like a long narrative hour and like figured out. The reaction from like people who followed me for years and like fans of like our podcasts and stuff was like, this, like, I love all your stand-up, I love all your jokes, I love all the routine. This is different, and the fact that there's like there's genuine like pieces of you and there's moments where you're not even trying to be funny and you're just talking to us, it's a totally different thing and we want more of that. And then so I put a special out in November, the most recent one, and that's a lot more clubby again, because I want to go back out and do what I've done for years. Do you think the next show I do will probably be another like narrative one? I want to like try another story and try to do another thing. It's the way it was received, like when you can really sort of put a piece of you, like, and be, you know, talk about your actual life and what you actually felt at moments and proper give people a real story. The reaction to it, like the special I've just put out, I'm really proud of it. I think it's fucking great. And a lot of people have messaged me and been like, this is so funny, fucking love it. They're sharing it, this is the best, like the funniest hour of stand-up I've seen. When I was getting messages about Juicy, they were like paragraphs in the DMs, like, it made me
stories affect people differently in general. Like, if somebody walks in the room right now and goes, guys, I got a crazy story, we're gonna give them about like 2 minutes of our attention no matter what. Yeah, it's like our earliest form of digesting information. Before we could like write shit down, it was just people saying, yo, this is kind of wild.
Yeah.
I mean, the Odyssey, I don't remember that entire story. But we're hardwired to remember these things, to have this long form narrative. You know, it's like, if we wanted little chunks of things, movies wouldn't exist.
No.
But when you sit down for 2 hours, there's one beautiful long story that kind of reflects, in a way, that our lives are led, you know. So, but mixing things up, I think, is important too. You gotta always keep your fans on their toes. I think, like, once they start expecting something, there can be a little boredom that comes through. When they show up and they see this hour and it's all these punchy jokes, and they're like, oh, that's right. Oh, he also does this. And you hit them next time with something completely different.
That's what I want to do. Like the hour I've just put out, I loved doing it. I worked with Alfie again, who like helped me with Juicy, like directed it. He was at like a lot of he was also open for me, so he was at a lot of the talk shows being like, hey, you've done this a little different to last night was better, stuff like that. He's really good for that. And we shot this most recent one in my like bucket list venue. I know like your bucket list venue was MSG, and that's why I flew out for that with Carl. It was so good to be there for that.
Thank you, man.
But the first venue I ever seen comedy in was the Liverpool Empire Theatre. It's a British comic called Ross Noble. And I was 16. I just like sort of found out like live comedy was a real thing. It wasn't just like something that was on the TV every now and then.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and that was sort of the start of like, oh, I can do this. And I remember like, when I started, I was like, by the time I'm 30, I want to headline that room.
Yeah.
By the time I did it, I was 32. 2 years for COVID, I'm taking that off. And we did incredible like hometown support back home. So we did 2 shows in one night in the Empire Theatre, so that was nearly 5,000 tickets. And then later in the tour, we did the arena. And I've got the footage from that where, the jokes are a little different, and like we can release some clips from that eventually. But the special shot to just like the guy, like Will, who's like our camera guy at our podcast and like our production company, like he's filmed with me for years now. And he knows what I want from a special. Like a big thing for me is there's always movement in the shots. I never want a camera on a tripod that's like got no one doing this with it. Like if it's static, I want a slow zoom. It's like and he not only like just got what I wanted, the level to which he's filmed it, the shots, the backdrop, the haze is perfect. Like it's so good. The audiences were fucking incredible, and I'm so happy with how it came out. And I'm really happy with it as an hour to stand up, but just as a video, you can watch with the sound off and I think you'd like it. He shot it so well, and I'm so proud of like we did that with my team. And that genuinely comes from like what you guys do. Do you know what I mean? Like watching people like you just go, oh, I'm just gonna make it myself. And like I shopped it round and we got a couple of bites and not the bites that I wanted, and I was like, it's going on YouTube. I want people to see it. And the reason I came out to the States for these 2 weeks, I wanted to start again where no one really knows me. And be going on in comedy clubs where they're like, fuck it, and I've got to win them over again. Because like, most comedy clubs in the UK, like I could probably get that a little bit, but they'll always be like 10% or whatever. And if I do it in Liverpool at my home club, at least half of them are like, oh, there's Adam. So I just wanted to like be in New York and often being like, I'm starting again with clubby stuff for now, because we're about to go on like a podcast tour where I've got to do 20 minutes. But in the back of my head, I'm sitting in cafes all day over here being like, what's this next like long story to do?
It's gotta be something real. Like you can't make a story out of nothing.
No, but like watching you do your show that I don't know how much you spoke about when your special's coming out and whatever. But
come out. I don't know if I mentioned it, but actually next month. Next month it comes out on Netflix.
But like I watched you do that twice. Once in Manchester, once at MSG.
And you saw the new version of MSG.
Because
I didn't announce the thing yet.
But like, there's the back half of that special is the story. Like the front loaded, like you're being short to what everyone knows, but there's like for people who haven't seen that tour live and are gonna watch the special. There's a shift in that hour, isn't there? From Infamous. It's not the same. It's not just another album.
That was the idea. I mean, the idea is I wanted to tell a story. It was not something I'd never done before. I also wanted to be personal. Like I never thought my life was interesting enough to be personal. And then this it was really hard for us to have a kid. And then I started talking about it on stage, and then started getting those reactions from people. And they were like, well, I'm kind of going through the same thing. And I was like, oh shit, it's not just me. And started reading all these books about storytelling and like learning like what the structure was and the different arcs that you have to do and 3 acts. And I was like, okay, maybe I can turn this into a story, but I don't want the audience to think that it's a one-man show. Because I always felt like that was a little bit of it's like you're asking them to lower their expectations a little. You know what I mean? So I wanted to start as stand-up and then turn into this thing and see if I can kind of hold your attention. And then the weirdest thing would happen is like you get into the story and like you can just feel the energy. Like they're like, where's this going? Like, what's gonna happen? Wait, no. And I can see why you're compelled to do it again. Because once you capture their attention in that way, it feels different